guys, welcome to Big Sister. Thank you so much for clicking on my channel. Thank you so much for being a subscriber. And if you're not, go ahead and subscribe, hit the notification bell, guys, so you can get notifications of when I'm up. So guys, I want to talk with you all as teens, young individuals. It can be very, very difficult in the times that you are in right now. We're in 2022, and I will say times now is completely different from what it used to be for me growing up in my time. That's all I'm going to say about it. There's so much advancements in the world today. You don't have to leave your house to have a good time. You don't have to leave your house to talk face to face. You can do that virtually. And just the amount of pressure that you guys are facing is completely different. So with that being said and acknowledged, it is important that you guys have a certain amount of strength to be able to find out who you are as an individual and being able to embrace that and to walk in that. There's a lot of pressure to follow what everybody else is doing. There's a pressure to do what everyone else is doing. If someone says this is the cool dance, everybody mimics it. Do you see that? Even adults are doing that. If someone is saying this is the new look, then everybody's going to follow that look and wear that look, with the few who chooses to have their own unique style and their own way of doing things. And these days, it takes a lot of courage to be unique and to be yourself and not to follow what everybody else is doing. But you guys have a lot of tough lessons to learn at a young age right now because the times are different. People are more cruel. There's so much leeway for anybody to do whatever they want to do, say whatever they want to say. You go to school, there are cliques, there's the cool kids, the not so cool kids. You may be in between. You may be one of the cool kids. But within yourself and your conscience, maybe there are things that you don't really like to see other people experiencing and going through, but you feel the pressure that you have to keep being the cool kid. Maybe you're the one that's not in the circle and in the know, and because of that you begin to label yourself and you talk down to yourself and you're trying to do everything to fit in, but you just don't. Or even if you are fitting in, you're doing so much work to try to maintain that image and that facade because you are not truly being who you are. So what are you left with? You can continue to pretend even if you're in the cool kid circle, or you can continue to pretend, trying to hold on and be a cool kid, do whatever you can to keep up with the fashion and resenting your parents because maybe they cannot afford the things as you think that they should, so you can continue to keep up with the cool kids. Or you're resenting your parents for encouraging you to be yourself. So what are you left with? Your own choice. I always say this, regardless of how old you are now, you're making decisions. What you do today will affect you 2 or 3 years from now. And who you are 2 and 3 years from now, the decisions and the choices that you make then is going to affect the person in their 20s. And the person in their 20s will affect the person you're going to be in your 30s and 40s and so on. So you have to get to a place of being yourself and being true to who you are, and not what society says you should be. There is a lot of strength that's needed in these times. That you can say no and not yes, and not say yes when you want to say no. How can you do that? You just have to do it. How can you stand up for yourself? You have to do it. You just do it. It's uncomfortable, but when you do it, you may find that it opens a door where other kids who've been afraid to do it, you've been afraid to do the very thing that you chose to do, they begin to follow suit. And sometimes you'll be the only one out there. But if you are afraid and if you're timid right now at your age and scared and you want to fit in and you focus on fitting in and feeling something is wrong with you and not be strong, you're going to be a weak adult. Because whatever you practice doing now is going to affect you later on. Maybe you don't fit in anywhere. Maybe you think that you don't fit in anywhere, but I found the most unique individuals. If you do not allow yourself to think negatively about your uniqueness and find beauty in it, and focus on your studies and focus on your work and doing the things that you need to do and moving forward and forging past all the obstacles that you may go through, maybe at home, maybe at school. You have to know that you're not always going to be at home. You're not always going to be in high school. You're not always going to be in middle school. You're not always going to be in elementary school. You're not always going to be here at college. You're moving. You're constantly evolving and moving forward into other levels and other things that you're going to be doing in your life. But the choices and the decisions that you make right now affects you. Be an advocate for yourself. If you're not an advocate for yourself, you can't stand up to anyone or for anyone. If you're not an advocate of yourself and focus on you and not trying to be like everybody else and focus on your lessons and focus on your fitness and focus on just who you are and finding those positive things about yourself, you're not going to be able to do that as an adult. And as an adult, it gets harder. It's not impossible, but it is harder because now you have all these other things to worry about. In the times that you're living in, more than ever before, you must have a strong mind. You must learn how to be strong in your thinking. And how do you be strong? You know what you believe, and you don't allow yourself to be afraid of people laughing at you and talking about you. You learn to be strong when you may have to sit and eat by yourself. Being strong is when you're standing up and saying what your opinions are, and also being strong. Let me tell you something that's very important. What's also important, guys, is a sign of strength is being able to hear someone else's opinion that may not agree with your own, but respecting it, and you can agree to disagree. You don't want to go through your life forcing people and making people and thinking being strong is forcing people to follow your lead and to do what you think and to follow what you feel and to follow yours and to have your same convictions. A part of being strong is not only standing on your opinions and standing on your convictions and being okay being the different one and being okay with being popular, but saying, no, this is wrong. This is not right. Sometimes you're that beacon, you're that light, you're the difference that your popular friends need to hear. Hey, that's not how you talk to people. That's not how you do things. And agreeing to disagree. There are people who are not going to believe what you believe. They're going to have different thoughts. They're going to have a different perspective. And a part of being strong is being willing and having the ability to accept, to hear what someone has to say, respect what they have to say, and just leave it there and still stand your ground. That is also strength. So yes, you guys are in tougher times than in years back, 10, 20 years ago. But you know what? You're strong enough to face it. You're strong enough to overcome it. You're strong enough to be able to adapt where you need to adapt. You're strong enough to draw your lines and set your boundaries, and you are born for this. You are able to do this. No matter what the circumstances around you say, no matter what fashion claims is beautiful, no matter what this is the new saying, this is the new norm, this is what we're gonna do. You don't have to follow the dance, you don't have to follow the fashion, you don't have to follow the beliefs of life and what people are saying you should be doing. Rather, it is your own personal convictions and ensuring that your personal conviction does not begin to be, you do not use your personal convictions to oppress and to demonize other people the same way you would not want that to be done to you. Does that make sense? I hope it does. All right, guys, I hope this encourages you. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you can know when I've uploaded my next video. All right, guys. Bye.